Hi ladies, Ashley Thomas here. I met you all at Keely's house for the mentor get-together recently, but if you don't remember me, I'm the dietitian that works at the College of Charleston. I also serve as the Public Policy Partners Coordinator for Scanned Public Policy, and I'll be a great resource for you if you have any questions on policy or if you decide to become a policy intern, which I hope you do. I'm very sorry that I couldn't be there in person today, but I did create this video presentation to give you a better idea of how SCAND is involved in public policy and what the duties of a policy intern would be. So let's take a look. This presentation covers some general public policy knowledge and then dives right into the public policy involvement of the South Carolina Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics and the critical role you will play as a policy intern. But first, why should we care about public policy? Because it greatly affects our everyday lives and jobs, that's why. As dietitians, we should care about public policy because it's a way to strengthen our voices as trained and respected healthcare professionals. Did you know that less than half of registered voters actually vote, and only 2% actively communicate with elected officials? Elected officials don't understand how specific detailed policies affect their constituents, and there's great opportunity for dietitians to have a voice in these policies. Being a constituent is very powerful because we are the people they are listening to. As a refresher of how Congress is organized and what will be important for you to know is this. At the federal level, we've got 2 U.S. senators and 7 representatives. At the state level, we've got 46 senators and 124 state representatives. And then at the local level, we've got mayors and other elected officials. Here are our 2 U.S. senators, Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham, and the 7 representatives whose number corresponds to their congressional district. You can see that here for the state of South Carolina. One priority area of SCAND that you'll be working with is to pair every South Carolina legislator with one dietitian. This dietitian will serve as their nutrition expert and someone they can rely on to give sound advice when food and nutrition policies arise. As a policy intern and future dietitian, it's important to be aware of the basics, so know your lawmakers. If you go to scstatehouse.gov and type in your address, it'll tell you exactly who your legislators are. Know their positions on healthcare issues or other issues related to food, nutrition, and dietetics. Also, visit the Academy's Action Center and complete action alerts. These alerts keep you in the know of current nutrition-related policies and allow you to have a voice in the matter. You can use the template message provided to send to your legislator. It doesn't get any easier than this. You'll also want to know the political calendar and how often each office is up for election. So the Federal Senate is up every 6 years, the State Senate 4 years, and the House 2 years. The General Assembly's annual session runs from January to June, and this is when all of the South Carolina senators and representatives convene in the State House, which is located in Columbia, South Carolina, just about an hour and a half from us. During Policy Day, we are able to go to the State House and do a brief meet and greet with our legislators, just to introduce ourselves as a constituent and a dietitian of their district. This is a great way to begin or seal a trusting relationship with our legislators, making them more likely to hear us on the issues that matter most to us. So the bottom line is that many issues being discussed at both the federal and state level impact our profession, so it only makes sense for us to be involved on all levels. If we aren't at the table, we will be on the menu. You'll notice that many of the action alerts from the Academy align with the issues that you see listed here under the state government and federal government. The Academy's policy office is located in Washington, D.C., and they've got a legislative committee who guides the type of policy work that the Academy becomes involved in. Every year, SCAND public policy members attend a public policy workshop, which takes place at this office in D.C. It's a great opportunity to meet the U.S. senators and discuss with them the issues that matter most to us as dietitians. This shows you the Academy structure, which is similar to the congressional structure, in which we've got policy on the national level, which is the academy. The state level for us is SCAND, and then the local level, which again for us would be CTDA. Listed here are the Academy's legislative committee principles, all of which seamlessly align with our profession as dietitians and are used to guide the type of activities in which we become involved. The Academy also provides another layer of involvement through their Political Action Committee, which is a separate committee whose members donate contributions as a way to fund and support political candidates. This is the only political action committee broadly focused on food, nutrition, and health. It ranks among the top 35 health professional political action committees in the country, and we should be proud of that. The Academy's Political Action Committee's goal is to get pro-nutrition candidates in federal office so we can see the appropriate changes that need to be made to improve the health of our country. The Academy outlines specific priority areas every 2 years, and these are the areas they have chosen to focus on for 2015 to 2017. So we've got disease prevention and treatment for things like diabetes and prediabetes, cardiovascular disease, obesity and weight management, and even things like access to healthcare. We've got life cycle nutrition, particularly prenatal and maternal health, early childhood nutrition, and older adult nutrition. Healthy food systems and access, so making sure that we've got safe food and we've given people access to food. Food and menu labeling, which I'm actually dealing with right now at the College of Charleston with this new national menu labeling. I'm doing quite a bit of menu analysis and working with our marketing department to be sure that calories are displayed for every item that we serve on campus. And then lastly, quality healthcare, so consumer protection and licensure, reimbursement and lowering healthcare costs, and nutrition informatics. So let's transition from public policy on the national level to public policy on the state level, SCAND. Here's the organizational chart of our South Carolina Public Policy Panel for 2016 to 2017. Nina Crowley and Kristen Quisenberry can really take credit for how much this group has grown and achieved since 2011. Nina has always been involved with and has led policy interns, so she will also be a good point of contact for you along the way. My position here is Public Policy Partners Coordinator, and we'll talk a little bit more about the Public Policy Partners in a couple minutes. But if you ever have questions for any of these individuals on the panel, please feel free to reach out to them. So just as the Academy has priorities, SCAND has their own priorities, which greatly affect the state of South Carolina. We have Regulatory Day every fall. It will be in November this year. And this is where we discuss key issues with agencies like DHEC or DSS or DHHS. So this is a way to kind of get involved on the agency level. Policy Day, that occurs in March. It takes place at our SCAND annual meeting. This is where we take a state house tour and speak with legislators from our district. It's a great way to get our faces out there if we haven't met our legislators already. The Public Policy Workshop, which takes place in DC, we kind of talked about that. This occurs in June. We discuss key issues with Congress here, and we have a chance to actually meet our U.S. senators. Of course, grassroots involvement is key to this program as it keeps things organized and running smoothly so we can maximize all efforts to achieve the greatest results. We work closely with the South Carolina Licensure Panel to uphold the Academy's priority area of public protection by ensuring that only qualified dietitians are providing medical nutrition therapy. Our involvement with Let's Move and Kids Eat Right is always growing. And actually looking at this, I think I may have left a couple off, so I'll have to get back to you on a couple of our other priorities if you're interested. So even if you decide not to become a full-fledged policy intern, but you still want to stay involved, there are many low-commitment ways to do so. The first one being responding to those action alerts. They're very easy. You can access them on the Academy's website. They've got email templates already written out for you. You simply type in your name, they'll find your legislator for you, and you can send it off to the appropriate legislator. You can also attend town hall meetings, contribute to a political party, offer to volunteer during a legislator's campaign, even something small as saying thank you to a legislator who voted the way that you requested. And of course, we hope that you all attend Policy Day. It does take place during the scanned annual meeting, so if you're already there, just sit in on a couple sessions to get your feet wet with public policy if you haven't already. And then lastly, there's an Eat Right weekly newsletter on the Academy's website. It includes weekly updates on public policy. So this is something that you can check periodically just to kind of stay in the know with what's going on. So we've gone over the basics of public policy on the national and state level. So let's talk more about your involvement as a public policy intern with SCAND and the Public Policy Partners program. Every year we find that interns become more involved in public policy, and so we're thrilled to have another productive and successful year with you. This project is geared to give you a bird's eye view on the importance of dietitians in policy without being on the front lines. So we won't put you in the position to advocate directly. However, you will be managing and improving the framework for existing dietitians to do so, while learning a ton along the way. You will work directly at the State Dietetic Association level with the SCAND panel to grow its grassroots efforts. With your help, we can work through some of the challenges that our panel faces in growing our grassroots efforts. For one, there are simply too few panel members to reach hundreds of legislators, and even if one panel member was able to reach out to several legislators in different districts, it wouldn't be effective because legislators want to hear from people in their district. This is why we've chosen to create a statewide network of dietitians who are assigned to their own legislator. But even this isn't easy. It's difficult to motivate dietitians to get involved in public policy. Most didactic curriculums don't prepare us for public policy involvement, and it's common for us to feel uncomfortable or unprepared in discussing these issues. But that's okay. We don't expect dietitians to be public policy experts, and it's definitely not a requirement. We've created training materials and other tools to help guide dietitians in their policy efforts. Additionally, the panel has other areas of interest and relationships to build besides local legislation. So this is where the public policy partners come into play. These partners are considered a statewide network of dietitians who are trained to advocate with their district legislators on behalf of SCAND. So as part of the Policy Intern project, you would be responsible for many grassroots efforts that help to create an effective and robust program. You'll be involved in recruitment and helping us reach our goal of one dietitian per legislator, developing and improving effective training materials to help these dietitians, most of which are inexperienced with policy, feel comfortable with discussing our key issues with their legislators. You will also be involved in developing the Leave Behind materials for legislators, which helps them remember their meetings with us. This past year, when we did a state house tour and met with some of our legislators, we left behind a small bag of trail mix with a scanned Public Policy Partners card attached, just saying thank you for taking the time to meet us. We also left our contact information and social media handles if they ever wanted to get in touch with us regarding that issue. And lastly, you would be assisting the SCAND panel in organizing and implementing Regulatory Day this fall and Policy Day at the annual meeting in March. Remember, Policy Day is held during the annual SCAND meeting and offers several policy education sessions that day. So we encourage all the interns, not just policy interns, to attend some of these sessions as a great way to get your feet wet in policy. And as I mentioned earlier, there will be some admin work like managing contact lists and progress reporting and tracking, as this is critical to our program's performance. So we currently have 23 of the 46 state Senate districts covered, so we've got some catching up to do. We've got to fill in the gaps and we've got to make it appealing because, like I said, a lot of people view politics as dry or something they're not comfortable doing because they don't know a lot about it. So we've got to find a way to make this as easy, fun, and clear-cut a process for them as possible. Over the years, we've asked that a public policy partner get involved in different ways, and this is always evolving, so we're open to any ideas that you might have to make this fun for partners. We do ask that they at least partake in 4 encounters over the year, so 1 home visit in their district, 1 visit at the State House during Policy Day, 1 phone call, and at least 1 email. And then in between scheduled contacts, partners are expected to respond to action alerts, write thank you notes, follow and communicate with legislators on social media, attend town hall meetings, and basically just be visible. Get our names, our faces, our professions, and our recommendations out there. Just to give you an example of what one of our interns have done in the past, last year Stephanie Watson created a great annual outline of monthly talking points to be sent out as emails. She listed items regarding holidays, suggestions for timely nutrition messages, and anything related to being in session or public policy. I was able to use this outline and create email templates and handouts for all of our partners to send to their legislators. I've noticed that many legislators are quite active on social media, so I've started providing a social media template along with this email template so partners can choose whichever they'd like to use. A few admin tasks that we'll need the intern to do include routine management of contact lists and regular communication between the partners and the scanned panel. We would also like 2 of our policy interns to serve as project managers and be key contacts for the scanned panel. This means being on monthly scanned conference calls and helping to delegate tasks among the other policy interns. Everyone will report to Nina and myself, but don't hesitate to reach out to other scanned panel members if you need additional information from them. As an intern and future dietitian, you are a key part of this project, and we're really excited to have you on board. It is always helpful to have a fresh perspective from someone not already in the trenches, so we want you to be creative, innovative, and feel comfortable bringing your ideas to the table. I'm all about using technology and social media because it's the most efficient way to deliver information today. So don't think that you're limited to email, telephone, and in-person meetings. We have yet to tap into using video as a communication method, and I think this could be very successful. So keep that in mind, and we can discuss more about that later if you're interested. Like I said, we've got to make this fun if we want to gain more policy partners and keep them on board. All right, we're almost there, just a few more slides, so bear with me. These next 3 slides sum up your responsibilities as a policy intern. So in addition to using your creativity in developing materials, there will be some admin work we'd like you to do to keep things organized so our efforts don't go to waste. These include kind of laying the groundwork and doing some routine maintenance. So updating contact lists and spreadsheets, revising the Public Policy Partners Guidebook and training manual. For these things, I recommend setting up a weekly or monthly maintenance schedule, which we can help you with, so that you know what needs to be done when. And doing this upfront allows you to use your time more efficiently. And as interns, we know that your time is precious. Step 2, recruitment, training, and marketing. We'll need you to revise and update the email that we send out to recruit partners. Maybe we can do this in video form. Again, always thinking about being creative. We have one for past partners and one for potential new partners who live in the district. And then along with this, we send out the training materials. We would also like to develop some new marketing materials and create a marketing plan to entice RDs to join as a partner. Again, people don't typically see policy as being enjoyable, so we need to show them that it can be. You know, if there's a policy under consideration that greatly affects our profession or the health of the public, we have to show them that working together to get this policy passed can be a great sense of achievement for us as professionals. And then step 3, implementation and maintenance. So you've laid the groundwork, you've done some recruiting and marketing, and now it's time to implement the activities throughout the year, which we've already discussed, like policy day, legislative day, etc. Here are some helpful websites to get you up to speed on all things policy. Some of them offer great resources which may spark ideas for you to bring to the table. If you have any other questions or hesitations about the duties of a policy intern, please do not hesitate to reach out to Nina or myself. We are happy to talk with you. So what do you think? I know that was a lot of information in a relatively short amount of time, so please do not hesitate to reach out to me with any questions that you might have, whether it's general public policy questions or how to become involved as a policy intern. While the policy partners have come a long way, we still have a lot that we can do. I'm very excited to hear any ideas that y'all have, and I'm looking forward to working with you this year. That's all I have for today. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you all soon.